I was doing a TikTok filter and it made me sad, so I'm running a little bit behind.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Uh-oh, that's what she said.
And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake
Well. Roll the intro, I guess.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage.
Like a good old German sausage,
Linda
she said.
and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Oh, let me change the camera. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, I was gluing something. How's everybody doing? 2 nights in a row, someone said. That's right. I was able to sneak out tonight. I was messing around on TikTok, and I was doing a filter that made me sad. So that kind of delayed it. But I am here again today. Got some stuff done around. I'm going to have to do something about my Jeep. So you guys know, well, you might not know. I drive a Jeep Cherokee. I'm gluing something as well. I'm looking at my hands. I drive a Jeep Cherokee, and in the flood... I was having an issue already with one tire that liked to go flat, and I knew I needed a set of tires. Well, in the flood, 2 of my tires got popped, and I was looking at it today. I was thinking about just like, they lose air, and one of them's off the rim. I was thinking about just getting like some shitty tires just to get them mounted on there, just so I could get it out and then figure out how to buy some new tires. But it broke. It broke and twisted up. I guess so what was happening was these railroad ties were like smacking up against my Jeep, which is like smacking up against a tree. But this is like a beater car, right? It still runs, it still drives. I'm not worried about like dents and dings and shit. The problem was like it fucked up at least one of the leaf springs, maybe both of them, and the little perches on the axle, like where the leaf springs spout on for the rear of the axle. So now... I was looking at getting new leaf springs. Now, the leaf springs were pretty wore out. I don't know if it's where I carry too much shit in the back. Probably. That's probably a big issue, but they were kind of sagging. I could hear my tires, stock-size tires, rubbing all the time. And for a long time, I was trying to get like some heavy-duty leaf springs, a little bit bigger leaf springs or something to kind of hold some extra weight because I carry a lot of tools in the back of the Jeep. With just like the type of work that I do, right? I do like maintenance and shit like that. But I went and priced just stock leaf springs. And they're not cheap. But for almost the same price, I could get like a 2-inch lift from Rough Country. Like, I know they're not like the top of the line lift or whatever, and it's not going to, you know, so I'm either going to have to get oversized, like heavy-duty springs or something because I don't want them to sag again. Or I could just get the ones that already have like a little bit of a lift to them. And then the front kit is a set of blocks, I reckon, and for almost the same damn price. And then when I go get tires, I can get a little more aggressive tire maybe. I don't know. I'm talking about buying all this shit. I don't even have a job. So if that tells you anything, something like that. But either way, I was looking at that. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that, but I'm going to have to do something. I do need my Jeep back. I was loaned out, very generously loaned out. My niece's boyfriend loaned me a pickup truck, and I was using it for a little bit, an S10, because our vehicles are currently trapped. I would drive the Jeep out of there if it wasn't sitting on flats and the spring wasn't fucked up. But it is. I don't want to risk Mariah's car because it's a hell of a lot nicer. It'd be my luck. That's when the road would give out. But, anyways, they loaned us an older S10. It's like a 93 S10. It's really nice. It's got a paint job on it and stuff. Little 2-wheel drive it, like a papaw truck. And I think he got it from his grandpa when his grandpa passed away. But they needed it back because his mom's car messed up today. Seems like when shit goes wrong, everything goes wrong. You know what I mean? So his mom's car messed up today, so I had to give the S10 back. I emptied it out and got it set up for them to come pick it up. So now I'm looking at ways to get my Jeep out, but I don't know. You know what I mean? thousands of dollars. So just the heavy duty springs were like, for a set of them was like $700-800. Tires, I got wheels, obviously. They're just shitty steel wheels, but tires are pretty expensive. A few $100s a piece and 4 tires. It is what it is. We'll just continue to embarrass ourselves by begging for more $200 donations. Some may say, I guess. Anyways, I got to get tires and stuff for the Jeep. I would like to get my Jeep out of there, have it available, I ride the one wheel in and out, but if I could get the Jeep out, there's no way I'm going to risk driving it in and out, right? It's just too much to do. But if I could just get it out, it'd be all right. Anyways, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? How's everybody doing today? I have an echo. I don't know. Sounds about right. That's probably true. I don't know. What have you guys been up to? How's everything doing? I got some videos. I've been watching some videos. I've been trying to keep up with, the election's right around the corner, and this fucking hurricane has got everything.
Robertson 81 just resubscribed for 17 months.
Got everything going crazy. I don't have an echo. Watching some videos. I've been trying to keep up with, the election's right around the corner, and this fucking hurricane has got it. You don't have it open twice, do you?
Just resubscribed for 17.
Yeah, I don't have an echo. You might have it open twice or have both of them open or something. Thank you for the resubscription. Yeah, I've been trying to keep up with the election. Let me grab something right quick. Hold on just a second. Well, I thought I was going to grab something real quick. Sorry, I couldn't even find it. I'll have to find it in a minute. That's all right. Anyways, I'm doing too much stuff at once. I 3D printed this. Let me see. Let me go back to the big camera. You'll see Linda Benda again, but hold on a second.
Hey, Daddies, it's me, the Linda Benda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in?
There we go. We'll fast forward to that. And Linda Benda, come on. So I made this. If you haven't been seeing my TikToks, I made a mount for these little cheap flashlights I found to mount them to my one wheel, because here recently I had been, it's way over here. I had been forgetting my headlamp, right? And the other one I had was kind of rigid mounted. I don't have an example here. It was kind of rigid mounted, and I broke it today. And one of the flashlights fell off, which I'm not concerned about the flashlights. I got 5 of them for $10, so they're like $2 a piece, right? But I still have 4 of them sitting around. So then I made this one, which if you can imagine, this round piece here will go on the one wheel. And it's got all these different, you see all the holes in it? God, my hands are dirty. I didn't wash my hands. You got to see all these different holes in it. So those are for adjustments. And then this piece has a magnet in it, and this is also the flashlight holder. So the flashlight snaps in like this. I've been playing with my 3D printer in case you haven't noticed. So the flashlight snaps in like that. You got that magnet and these holes lined up. So you can mount it and then you can take it out and twist it and mount it this way, mount it up one, mount it down one. You're going to adjust the angle on it. And then this part always stays on the board. I'm going to affix it to the side of the board for sure. And even if I wreck or something, this magnetic part will just give free and I'll just have to pick this up, right? Or I can take it off when it's not nighttime or whatever. It's a pretty cool design. I'll put a close-up video of it on TikTok or whatever, but I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's get into something. I'll let that dry for a little bit anyways. I was looking for I've got a bunch of different, I love super glue, so I've got a bunch of different types of super glue. Plus I've got accelerator to make shit dry faster. I just don't know where the fuck it's at. I was going to use the accelerator to make this set a little bit better, but I think the magnetic design's pretty cool. And if I keep these pucks, like if I keep this basic design of this puck with the magnet in it, I can make other things that attach to it. So I could make like a camera mounts or, you know, shit like that. If I keep the puck on the board, and I could make other things that just go to this format and attach on. Camera mount, light mount, different things. I don't know. Fuck. Anyways, back at it. Sorry for the distractions. I'm over here being fucking... being all over here. Don't let anybody steal your idea. Partner with One Wheel. I think there's some pretty cool One Wheel lights out there. I just don't... We'll watch this video later. Hold on. Let me see. I think there's some pretty cool One Wheel lights out there. I wish I could. I'm not trying to buy anything right now. I don't have a job or a home or
I think that they want
or any stability in my life right now. But I think they have some One Wheel. They probably have better lights than what I got, like little headlights, like LED headlights. How to add shred lights, smart lights on Arduino. Someone's already done this. I'm not the first person to do it. But it does help riding it at night. I would say a lot of people, if they ride at night, it's probably in the city under street lights, but I don't have it. For nights. I saw some that looked almost like car headlights. Those are pretty cool headlights there. I saw some that looked almost like, car headlights. What's this? I like this channel. Let's see what this is. This is a One Wheel channel. It's called The Float Life. They make accessories for One Wheel. Oh. Could be like Mr. Magoo. He just keeps missing him or whatever. I can't, if you guys can think of anything besides a light mount or a camera mount, throw in the comments. I don't know. Those are the two things that I would consider mounting on my board. You got to remember it's low to the ground. It's only like this high off the ground. So, and it shakes. Like you wouldn't want to put a cup holder there because it just make your drink go flat. You wouldn't want to put anything that you're not willing to get dusty or dirty there. But there's probably some things I can think of. Get a little tow rope in case another one will get stuck. A little shackle.
Damn it, Jeff. Well, I was gonna tell him, but he already knew. Group ride, Halloween night. It'll be to die for.
Oh shit. Group ride in Sacramento, California. There you go. I need to, I guess I could put this puck other places too. I could probably put it on the fender. That's a good place to mount things. Put it on the fender and mount a camera there. Either way, I could use it on other things besides the one wheel too, I bet. Here we go. I remember this TikTok was fucking hilarious, but I can't remember why, so you're gonna watch it with me till I remember it.
Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Ready? Go get it.
Oh, this is funny. This is funny as shit. Okay. Do you guys know what a stoat is? I think it's called, is it a stoat or a sloat? I think it's a stoat. A stoat. I've only heard people talk about it. I've never actually Googled it. A stoat is a type of like small weasel looking things. So watch this.
Right here, right here, right here, right here. Ready? Go get it. Go get it. Get it. Get it. Right there, right there. Right there. Emmy, right here, right here, right here. Get it.
Not a sloot. That's Mariah.
Get it. Go get him.
He's panicking.
I don't know what the hell this is.
The desperation in his voice where he's like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Look at it. It's standing right there. See it? It's like a tiny little weasel. They're only about this big, but they're long and skinny like you would expect a weasel. See it under the table? That's it. It looks like a hot dog with a tail.
I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, there he goes. Get him, Emmy. Oh, shit.
Ah! Oh, shit.
Oh, he's over there. He's over here. Emmy, he's over here. Go get him. I'll meet him over here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, there he goes. How am I going to get him? Oh, God, I don't have anything to get him, Sarah. Ah!
Listen to him scream. What the fuck is that thing?
Oh, you got him. Ah! What the hell is that thing? Oh, he got away. He's in here. He's in here. He's in here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? He's in this room now. Where'd he go? He's in here. Somehow it got in here. We're not gonna get him. TV room.
Had to give up. A vole is kind of like a little hamster, though. Like, this is long and skinny, definitely like a fucking weasel. I don't know. The video's just funny. He's like, I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I want to watch it again, but I accidentally clicked off. Let me grab the link again. Kind of like a mink. Yeah.
Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here.
Him and the dog hunting it. They thought they was going to get it.
Get it. Go get it. Get it. Get it. Right there, right there. Right there. Right there, right
You got it, boy.
Get it. Over here. Right here. Get it. Go get him. I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, there he goes. Get him, Emmy.
Ah! The suspect trend is pretty funny.
Oh, he's over there. He's over here. Emmy, he's over here. Go get him. I'll meet him over here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, there he goes. How am I going to get him? Oh, God, I don't have anything to get him, Sarah. Ah! What the hell is that thing? Get away.
Dude, his voice is so funny.
He's in here.
What the hell is that thing?
Where'd he go?
We're not going to get him, Sarah. He's gone.
He's in this room now. Where'd he go?
It's his house now, Sarah. We got to move out.
Somehow
A stoat.
We're not going to get him.
S-T-O-A-T, stoat.
TV room.
It's his TV room now. It's his TV room now. We're done. What was the Oh, what's this? What was Phil's reaction to Phil's community's reaction to his pumpkin shit? Someone said this reminds me of you. Pebble said this.
We built this barn dominium for $61,000.
God, I want to build a barn though so much.
Upstairs, we have a 400 square foot, 1-bed, 1-bath apartment. First things, we enter into the open concept living and kitchen space and our wood stove for heat in the wintertime. We wanted to live a normal life, so we have a full-size appliances, including a full-size refrigerator. We even have a little dishwasher. And because we live off-grid with limited water, we have a foot pedal for our sink. From the kitchen, we head straight into the bathroom, minimizing what would be wasted hallway space. We have a full-size walk-in shower, and for the last 3 years, we've had an incinerator toilet, but we just installed this flushing toilet. And then from the bathroom, we go straight into the bedroom. And you may notice this tent. That's where our son Oliver sleeps. Let's head downstairs.
Oh, that's my son's name.
We may have a tiny apartment, but we have a huge garage, complete with a hangar-style door. We love building, making, and learning, and this house has all of the tools we need for anything
Jesus.
to dream up. Do you
That's
think
so
this
cool.
is worth $61,000? We built this barn dominium for $61,000.
God, I gotta find a piece of land first. That was pretty cool. Thank you for sending that in. I don't know. Have you guys seen the let's see, what was the other video? Trump has a #1 hit on Airplay.
Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party.
Such weird enunciation, dude.
Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. Joe Biden is Kamala.
So this is actually trending on TikTok, this whole sound here. And credited to Donald Trump, of course. Credited to Donald Trump. Let's go to a Trump rally, the New York Trump rally. Here you go. The Trash Island. He's a comedian. I give a lot of leeway to comedians. I just think it was probably a bad place to do. Like if he'd have been in a comedy club at a bar or something, he probably would have got away with it. Probably a bad place to make those jokes there, especially the watermelon joke about the black guy carving watermelons instead of pumpkins. That's pretty fucked up. But anyways, the good liars at the New York City Trump rally. I don't think that a lot of Trump supporters... Take, for example, the one last night that had like the meltdown, right? Because I told her to shut the fuck up. We were talking about Kenneth Woody, and all she wanted to post about was, I can't believe you don't like Trump, over and over and over and again on Facebook. So I banned her on Facebook. Then she ran around chasing Mariah and yelling at Mariah or whatever. I don't think they realize they sound like this. Like even in the groups that hate Phil, this is what you all sound like. Fucking retards. Yeah, I think they caused a hurricane to steal the uranium from North Carolina. Okay.
What do you think happened with the hurricanes that happened in...
What I think happened with the hurricanes? I think that they want the land. You know, I think that the government wants the land, and this is what they did.
But what do you mean what they did?
They made a fake tornado. Right. Yeah, they planted whatever they do. They pull that
manipulated the weather.
The weather, exactly.
But you think the government manipulated the weather?
Oh, I think the government is not our friend, sir. No. The government is not our friend.
Do you think the government created the hurricane to hurt the United States?
Absolutely. Not to hurt the United. They want the land. They want the land for the what is that? The batteries, uranium stuff, whatever it is.
Lithium.
It's lithium, lady.
I know that. It's because another lady at a Trump rally told me.
They want the uranium.
No, you don't watch the news.
Mariah has a close family member that thinks the government makes hurricanes and sends them after people to hurt Trump.
He knows.
I do watch the news. Yeah. Do you watch the news?
No, not all of it.
Then she has the nerve to ask him, like, oh, you don't watch the news? You haven't seen this all over the news? They want the uranium.
They want the land. They want the land for the what is
You don't watch the news?
stuff, whatever it is.
Dumbass.
The lithium.
The only reason I know that is because another lady at a Trump rally told me.
Oh, they know. You don't know? You don't watch the news?
He knows.
I do watch the news. Yeah. Do you watch the news?
No, not all of it.
Imagine asking somebody like, you don't watch the news? And they're like, yeah, do you watch the news? You're like, no. No. Not at all. I don't think they realize what they sound like. I really don't.
Square Garden. People have made the trip from Long Island, from Staten Island, even as far as New Jersey to be here. Did you guys come in from Staten Island, Long Island, or New Jersey?
Long Island. New Jersey.
Long Island.
Long Island.
New Jersey.
Long Island.
All right. So there you have it.
Do you want Trump to be a strong leader?
He is a strong leader.
Do you want him to be like the strongest president in history?
He already has been.
Do you want Donald Trump to go after some members of the media?
Absolutely. The media needs to be corrected. It's just so biased. It's ridiculous.
Do you consider Donald Trump a nationalist, an ultra-nationalist?
Absolutely. Trump gets along with everybody.
And then anybody who doesn't suck Trump's dick's a liberal. Like, I never even said I supported anybody. And then they wave it in front of my face like, Trump's going to win. I don't think he will. But even if he does, what do you think that does to me? Like, there's a difference between someone who would, I guess, have a fucking meltdown if Trump won and someone saying, I don't support Trump. Like, I guess I don't get it. You got me.
The peace. Trump makes the economy better.
Do you think Trump is the only guy for the job right now?
He is the best candidate.
The best candidate.
And the toughest. We need him.
Do you think
we need him?
Fascist?
No.
How are you? How are you doing?
Have you heard the reports of his former chief of staff, John Kelly, saying he believes Donald Trump is a fascist?
Nope, don't believe it.
Don't believe it?
Nope.
He said he's a fascist. He gave the definition of
They don't believe anything unless Trump says it.
Nationalist. He wants to go after his enemies, the media. He said he's like a strongman candidate. What's your thoughts on that?
Trump is going to correct everything that needs to be corrected, and the poor guy
Going to correct it, boys.
beaten to death by the wrong side.
But you don't think he's a fascist?
No.
We are here at a Trump rally. Look at this. Look at all the people. Would you just look at them? Are you excited to be here?
Well, I'm absolutely excited to be here.
Did you come
I love when their comeback is, well, I can't wait till Trump wins to see your face. All right. What do you think's going to happen? Like, I've been through a Trump presidency.
Or New Jersey?
I'm from South Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia.
Okay. What's the capital of New York?
Syracuse.
Oh, no.
Oh, Albany.
Yep.
Albany. Yeah, it is Albany.
There you go.
Buffalo.
Yeah, so you
Like the
can see,
wings.
people are here, genuine New Yorkers. What's that song you're singing?
Trump, a little higher. Trump, Trump, until you get tired screaming. Woo! Trump 2024. Where am I going to be on? We keep singing.
He's no racist.
Do you think Donald Trump would admit if he...
He's no racist.
I'm not Donald Trump.
You just have no idea?
No.
Given the past, do you think he'd admit if he loses?
I'm not Donald Trump.
You're just...
Can't have an opinion unless you're the person. Got it.
So I can't say that.
Okay, honestly, I thought you were Donald Trump for a second.
No.
We're not banning, abortion, but we try to talk to people into maybe having the baby, giving it up for adoption.
Abortion is banned in several Republican states.
Well, in some states, but you
all run by Republicans.
But you can go to other states. Okay.
Are you sick and tired of the people comparing Donald Trump to Hitler?
The only one
This is my favorite one.
saying that is Kamala Harris.
Well, and also Trump's VP.
J.D. Vance is comparing Trump to Hitler?
Yes.
I never heard that.
He said Trump might be America's
Okay.
Hitler.
I don't believe that was said.
I did not hear that. I don't believe that that would.
No, he said that.
Trump is 100% for the people. He's for making America great again.
Right, no, I'm just asking if you're...
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, he said Trump might be America.
It's not even contested.
I think-
He just says he changed his
I
mind.
think that he's going to go
No,
in,
but he did.
and he's going to straighten out the country. The economy is going to turn around. It's going to be soaring. The border.
No, I totally understand the economy and everything, but I'm saying J.D. Vance did say Trump might be
I
America's
don't know.
Hillary.
You're telling me that. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
Okay, did you just manage to not hear it?
I just did not hear it. No, I never heard that.
All right.
All right.
So there you have it. Some people out here sure that Donald Trump is going to win, and somehow not having heard, big news that everyone seems to have heard.
I think he won New York State, Donald Trump, in 2020.
Of course.
Possibly.
Do you think he's going to win this year?
Absolutely.
All 50 states.
100%?
100%.
Want to bet $100 on it? That he wins New York State. $100 that Donald Trump wins New York State.
I hope so. Yes.
Okay. All right. Can I get your contact?
Okay.
Can I get your contact info so I can collect my bet if I win?
Sure. Give me a phone.
So do you think
you'll ever collect on that bet?
New York, people are saying
He will. I know
you
it.
know he will?
Yes.
You're 100% sure?
I know the YouTuber will have to pay if he's wrong, right? If Trump wins, because so many people will ride his ass online. But you think the random lady from the rally will ever pay up?
100% sure.
Oh, do you want to bet on it?
Yes.
Okay, $100?
You got it.
Okay, what's your email? Just say your email address. We'll keep in touch.
I'm not going to say it here.
Okay.
All right.
But do you actually want to bet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You think the polls are lying about New York?
Oh yeah, they were. You legend and Austin were a topic, I guess, that you were just the crazy California liberals, and that's the only people who support me anymore. I lost everybody except for those crazy California liberals. Everybody knows.
New York.
Absolutely.
Do you think Donald Trump is going to win New York State?
Absolutely. 150%.
Do you want to bet $100 on it as well?
Kamala Harris is a slimy communist. She's going to do what the globalists tell her to do.
Kamala Harris is actually a communist?
Actual communist. She's the furthest left senator of all 100. I think it was back in 2019.
But are you saying that, is that hyperbole, or do you believe she is actually a communist?
I see Marxism all over the place.
In what sense? I mean, she was a prosecutor. This is not a career path for a communist.
Absolutely it is.
Why would they want to interrupt the certification of a presidential election, which Joe Biden was...
Investigate the votes and how many more cheating was
I'm asking why would Antifa and all of them interrupt the certification of a presidential election?
So the reason that MAGA people did it was to investigate the votes, but it was actually Antifa, and they did it to make it look like MAGA was doing it, to investigate the votes.
In which Joe Biden was going to be certified as the next president. You're saying they posed as Trump supporters on January 6th. Why would they do that?
to make Trump look bad.
All right, appreciate it. When the big blue toilet cities allowed Antifa to burn the joint down. That's what communists do. They stoke violence.
The big blue toilet cities?
Portland, Chicago.
You're in New York right now.
Yes, I know.
Are you frightened of being in New York?
No, I've been here for decades. Why would you think I'm not from here?
Well, you're calling it a blue toilet city.
It is. In many ways, New York is. It's not as bad as Portland or Seattle or San Francisco, but if
what's so bad about New York?
What's so bad about New York? The crime is pretty bad, mostly in underserved communities, and that's where the communists go first.
The wrath of God is going full force. We cannot remove God from our country.
What do you mean the wrath of God?
I feel like with Kamala Harris...
You're saying the wrath of God is coming after Kamala Harris?
No. I'm saying God is very not... sorry. Let me take it back.
Yeah, no, take your time.
I don't think that God is happy with with what is happening right now, it really depends on the God
Makes
that you're
sense.
praying to, and whatever push you feel within you. But
So your God is telling you vote for Donald Trump.
Yes.
Do you want Donald Trump to be a strongman
Makes
president?
sense.
Of course I do.
Do you want Donald Trump to go after Democrats?
100%, yeah.
Do you want Donald Trump to go after the media?
Yes, I do. We need a new whole system on the media.
Do you think Donald Trump is the only man for the job?
Right now, 100%.
The only guy that could do this is Donald Trump.
The only one? Who else is there? Who else can put up what he does?
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
They basically describe fascism, and then they're like, nope, not a fascist.
On heroheroherohero.co/The Good Liars. The link is in the description. It's $5 a month.
Guys are funny.
Go to all of these terrible, terrible places. Brom, I have to ask you a question. Do you have any words of wisdom for the audience?
I do. If you go to a leather factory and you're buying a bag because it looks really cool, right?
Okay.
And it smells terrible, just awful. And the guy says, don't worry, that smell goes away. Know that it doesn't. Don't buy the bag. It's going to ruin the rest of your vacation because it's going to be with you. It's going to make everything smell terrible. And then at the end of the day, you're going to get it back home. You're not going to want to keep it anyway.
Great advice. Great advice, Ron. Thank you so much. And I mean that sincerely.
So a lot of people didn't like the Trump rally. Let's see what David Pacman had to say about it.
Certainly a strange way to start a show. On February 20th, 1939, a Nazi rally took place at Madison Square Garden. It was organized by the German-American Bund. More than 20,000 people attended, and Fritz Julius Kuhn was a featured speaker. This was billed as a pro-Americanism rally. Yesterday, Donald Trump recreated this rally in the same place. He brought lunatics and racists and xenophobes. A comedian named Tony Hinchcliffe even called Puerto Rico a floating pile of garbage in the ocean. We'll get to that later. This may have been the single most disgusting rally I have ever seen, starting off in what was sort of a funny way, as Melania Trump, again, dodging a kiss on the lips from Donald Trump. Apparently the renegotiation of the prenup didn't include any kissy on the lips. And what a wild event with Donald Trump showing up 2 hours late, as is often the case these days. He's just hours late, explanation, who cares? But truly one of the most disgusting, hate-filled, just hate in every way, rallies, and no shortage of extraordinarily disturbing statements from the failed former and wannabe future president. Trump raising a lot of red flags by talking about a little secret. We've got a little secret, right? A little secret that he's going to tell you about after the election is over. What is Trump confessing to here?
And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
Right. What on earth is Trump confessing to here? Probably the secret is he has ideas for how to steal not only the presidential election, but also the election in the House of Representatives. In maybe the creepiest moment, Trump, as we all know, focused on genes and genetics and who's got the good blood and this sort of thing. And Trump says he would like to have the children.
You know how horrible that rhetoric is? Like they're poisoning the bloodline of America. We got to have a strong bloodline. We got to have good genes and good genetics. You know that's all just fucking veiled racism, right?
Of JPJD Mandel Vance and Usha Vance. It just really creeps you out.
Brilliant woman, top student at Yale Law School. They were both top students.
Top.
They're going to have very smart kids. If you believe in that, I believe in it strongly. I would like to have their children because they are going to be smart. Yale Law School, top of the class, both of them. Usha Vance, thank you, Usha, for being here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Trump not that thrilled, I guess, with the genetics of his children. Maybe his phrenology textbook that he maybe read 40 years ago suggests a little something different. I don't know. Now, as many of you know, it is said by Trump about himself, he supports the troops. He defends the military. The cupboards were bare when he came in and took over from Barack Obama. And also during his Nazi-style rally at Madison Square Garden yesterday, saying that a lot of the generals he had were weak and stupid people. Not exactly supporting the troops, is it?
We had stupid generals like Milley and Mattis, weak, stupid people. But fear not, we have great generals.
Support the troops, guys.
All the time.
He supports the troops. No one supports the troops more strongly than he does, except the ones that have decided Trump's unfit to lead, except the ones unable or unwilling to lay down and have Trump walk all over them like a doormat, except for the troops that are working to defend against MAGA rioters. Other than all of those troops and the Mexican soldier whose funeral he doesn't want to pay for after agreeing to pay for, other than that and a long list of specific troops, he supports the troops, and it's the Democrats who don't. A scary moment for all of those who care about not having measles and all sorts of other contagious disease in society. Donald Trump promising during his rally to let Robert F. Kennedy Jr. go wild on health, foods, and medicines. That's a scary proposition.
Health and the environment than anybody. And he's going to be absolutely, having him is such a great honor. I've been friends of his for a long time. And
say goodbye to vaccinations.
On health, I'm going to let him go wild on the food. I'm going to let him go wild on
polio and measles and smallpox held a party last night when they heard this.
The only thing I don't think I'm going to let him even get near is the liquid gold that we have under our feet. I don't know, Elon, he might not like liquid gold. It's oil and gas, sometimes referred to as oil and gas. JD, I think we're going to have to keep him away from the oil and gas. What do you think, Howard?
Right. Yes, it will be a world in which there will be raw milk at every corner, but not a vaccine as near as the eye can see. As you know, various sycophants and dilettantes were at yesterday's rally. One such sort of new world sycophant is Elon Musk, who we recently learned worked illegally in the United States for all of his concern about all of the illegals and migrants.
Elon Musk was an illegal immigrant that took up a job. Wow.
Turns out he was here working illegally at one point in time. Trump started praising Elon, who was in the audience with his mom. And Elon he was on the edge of genuflecting. That's how sycophantic this whole thing was.
And it straightened it out like this, and it came down and it landed, and then its two of these big, beautiful arms grabbed it and they held it tight. And
by the way,
have your multi-billion-dollar project, scientific and aeronautic breakthrough described by a third grader. These big, beautiful arms and the fire and the whoosh and the thing, and it came down from the sky and it grabbed it.
Trump is not describing a sexual encounter here. He's talking about the recent landing of a SpaceX rocket.
And I said, I wasn't sure it was a movie. I thought it might be one of these crazy movies. And I said, I got to call Elon. And I call him. I said, Elon, was that you? This is like about 4 minutes after. Was that you? Yep.
You didn't know that his company was SpaceX that you were watching the rocket capture?
That was me. I say, Elon, you're a genius. You are a genius. You are. He is special.
Yep.
He is.
And as you see Elon Musk's mom nodding, yes, he is a genius. He is a genius. It wasn't all fun and games and propaganda, though. There was also dangerous autocratic authoritarianism, which, if you're ever going to recreate the 1939 Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden, one would expect autocratic authoritarianism, and we saw it. Donald Trump turning his ire and the ire of the audience that was still there, of course, he was many hours late and people started to leave, against the press.
One thing I have been, even the enemy, because they are the enemy, what they've said, even that enemy too, and they're really the enemy. They're the enemy of the people, the press. They said
the enemy of the people, the press, and of course Donald Trump threatening to suspend the broadcast licenses of CBS, MSNBC, ABC, specific journalists, specific reporters. That's what he plans to do, and we should believe him, as disgusting and depraved as it is. And then Donald Trump, as is often the case during these rallies, getting the timeline mixed up a little bit, where he says he's been fighting forces for 9 years. Of course, Trump was in charge of the country for 4 of those 9 years.
Get your husband off the couch. The football game doesn't mean a damn thing. You got to get out on the road. Get up, Harry. Come on, Harry. Get up, Harry. Let's go. You're going to vote for the president, Harry. We're going to save our country. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. With your vote in this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It belongs to you.
And of course, speaking of who the nation belongs to, a real perfect Third Reich-style moment where Donald Trump's propaganda speechwriter Stephen Miller said America is for Americans and Americans only.
The cartels are gone. The criminal migrants are gone. The gangs are gone. America is for Americans and Americans only. One man. And that man, ladies and gentlemen, that man took a bullet for you. He took a bullet for democracy.
Yeah. You could have expected a line like that at the 1939 Nazi rally, except that as a Jewish person, Stephen Miller would not have been welcome. But other than that, this is exactly the sort of crazy rhetoric you would have expected then. And then no shortage of cringe from Elon Musk as well, who did get an opportunity to speak.
Yeah. USA, USA, USA.
It's almost like a question. USA? USA?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me give you the good news and the bad news. And it's a lot of damn bad news here. If this guy wins, we're in trouble. We're in real trouble. Now, let me give you a glimmer of hope. Shortly after the 1939 Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden, the Bund rapidly declined. Let's see what happens this time in just 8 days. And what I can tell you for sure is that the 1939 Nazi rally did not wrap with Nazis doing the double jerk dance to a song about gay bathhouses, which is how every Trump rally now ends. Okay. We're joking around a little bit. We want to laugh a little bit to avoid crying, but a hate-filled, disgusting event. And there was another aspect of this that requires some deeper examination, which is the comedy bit before the event started. Let's talk about that next. If you stay on top of the news, you follow politics and elections, why not win cash?
The comedy bits.
It's the app and website where you can win cash for predicting what will happen next in politics, and it is free to play. Questions like, will Trump win the presidential election? Will Kamala Harris flip a state? Will political commentator Destiny appear on Joe Rogan's podcast? If you predict correctly, you win play money called mana or sweep cash. One sweep cash is redeemable for a US dollar. So if you predict right, you can turn it into cash. And the platform gives you free mana and sweep cash to play with every single day. Go to manifold.markets/Pacman and you'll get free extra sweep cash just for signing up to start you on your journey. No purchase necessary to win cash or prizes. If you want to go bigger, you can use my link to get 40 extra sweep cash when you spend $20 on mana. If you put that 40 sweep cash on Trump losing the election, at the current odds, you win 70 sweep cash if he loses, redeemable for $70 cash. You must be a U.S. resident, 18 or older. See terms and conditions. The link is in the description.
These people are fucking retarded. Someone just shared this meme, okay? Now, if you guys watched the Joe Rogan Trump interview, I watched every bit of it, okay? It's 3 hours long. I watched every bit of it. And the quote says, Joe Rogan says, so wait, it's called spirit cooking? And then Donald Trump says, you wouldn't believe it, Joe. These are sick people. They mix blood, semen, breast milk, and feces, and they use it to paint creepy messages on the walls. These are the animals Crooked Hillary and the Podestas hang out with. Now, this was not a quote. This was not a quote from the Joe Rogan podcast at all. But of course, this is shared as if it's a quote from the Joe Rogan podcast with no video, just this picture. And they say, wait, I thought this was all a conspiracy. It is. And even the post you shared, you fucking retard, is a conspiracy. This was not in it. But wait, I thought it was all a conspiracy. Yeah. The way you're sharing it is a conspiracy as well. These people are so, you can't even, like, you don't even have to read. You can't even listen to the audio. You can't even listen to the audio from a podcast. And this is supposed to be from one of the groups that's like out here to expose Phil. Here's some more lies. Well, I took a break after going to help in Western North Carolina. I get it. We all need a break sometimes. I bet you were wore out. Yes, and the news is lying. There are tens of thousands dead. No, there's not. Tens of thousands dead in Western North Carolina? Are y'all fucking retarded? Oh, I'm sure. That much devastation, only a couple hundred? No way. Whole towns are wiped out. How big do you think these towns are? I'm sick of the lying that goes on with mainstream media and the government. I'm going to have to bite my tongue before I say something that'll get me on the terrorist watch list. That's why I took a break after. And I'm sure you had to decompress. Wait, so it's true? Yes, it's true. I was in the valley by Lake Allure The whole Smoky Mountain smells of death. This is not true. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh, I'm so angry and mad. Why are they doing this? Land grab, lithium and quartz mining, same thing in Wyoming, I think it was. Definitely in western North Carolina mountains. So the company they're talking about is called Sibelco. Sibelco is a little company that most people don't know about. And they mine silica sand, but their big moneymaker is very, very, very high-end quartz. It is the best quartz in the entire fucking world for computer chips. It is so valuable and only from one spot, such a small spot on the river, that at night, I'm sure they do it in the day, but I've only noticed them at night when they're not open for business. At night, they literally have armed guards with like fully automatic weapons guarding a pile of sand. And the railroad runs right through there. When I worked for the railroad, we did deliveries and pickups and shit there. The railroad runs right through there. It's called Sibelco, Sibelco, Sibelco. And the reason that it's so rare is because it's first of all, it's hard to get to. It's hard to separate. It's hard to process. And it's only in a very, very, very small area. Did you hear me? It's only in a very, 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 very small area. It's not all over western North Carolina. It's not under the ground where your fucking grandma or her fucking pet beaver lives. It's in a very small area that is like a vein meets a very specific area of the river that's in a bend that is slow enough to catch it, and it comes from a geological formation under the ground that's been exposed by thousands of years of the river getting there. Like, they're not taking land to go find this other places because it's not other places. I fucking hate this. Dear God, innocent people gone for what? Greed? Damn. Well, Camel Toe's husband has a lot to do with it in western North Carolina, the company. Isn't Piglosi involved too? Not sure, probably. This is from the Godlewski group chat 3.0. Not his chat, but the one that's like a fake chat of his that they talk shit about him all the time. I'm having a real hard time meeting intelligent Trump voters that you can actually have a conversation with, right? Instead, it's people who think that they control the hurricanes, send them to North Carolina. It's because why wouldn't the government, you know how easy it is to just go take land through eminent domain? Most states that you live in, you don't even own mineral rights. Most states that you live in, you don't even own your mineral rights. So if you find something underneath your ground, you don't own that. You own the surface level. If there's something a couple 100 feet under the ground, someone else owns that, right? The county or the town or whatever, the municipality. That's a big thing when you go like out west where there's like gold deposits and different mines and shit. You literally have to own the mineral rights. You have to own the shit under your property because typically you don't. In a lot of states. The only states that seem to have this already laid out and people know about it and have mineral rights are the ones where there's big mining areas already. And it's something that they've negotiated and went through and made up contracts. But if you don't explicitly know that you own the minerals under your ground, you don't. Right? They could just come in with something and dig a tunnel and go take your shit right out from underneath your house. You don't even have to move. Just dig under it. Wait, I thought spirit cooking was a conspiracy. It is!
You're so smart. You don't think...
Oh, I can't do this. They'll copyright strike me. I forgot. It is a conspiracy. It 1,000% is a conspiracy. It wasn't in the podcast at all. it's hard to speak with these people ever. I don't know. They're not living in the same reality that you are. They're just not. And there's no authority. Like you can't go to the government. You can't go to scientists. You can't go to the medical field. You can't go to a geologist. You can't go to world history. They've eliminated like if you're like, well, if we just look back in history, yeah, you believe the history books? Well, if we go talk to I have a buddy who was a meteorologist for Mars, right? And when I would talk to flat earthers or people that think the moon landing's fake or whatever, I'd be like, I have a buddy who studies the weather on Mars, so they know when their windows are to land shit on Mars. Now, yeah, bullshit. He's one of the NASA fanboys. What about scientists? Yeah, you believe that science? What about the government? You believe the government? What about this study? You believe studies? What about the news or Google? Oh, yeah, I bet.
Let's turn to war, because that should calm down the debate. Destiny, look, obviously a pretty consequential election in many ways, but not least, I would argue, for the fate of people in Gaza and Ukraine and other hotspots around the world. Where are we with these? I mean, it's quite interesting to me that for the first time I can remember, you have a body of Republicans who do not want to back, say, Ukraine against a Russian dictator that illegally invaded their country. I remain very perplexed and surprised that is...
Right. Yeah, check this. Oh, I got one for you. If I can find it in my notifications, it's kind of old, but we'll see if we can. Q is the NSA. They gather intelligence and also had people flip from within. It's about saving the children, improving people to the media created. What the fuck? QAnon to cover this shit up. Oh my God. Someone said Q is a psyop, don't be a Q-tard. Flynn is a Q psyop. You sound like Cold Beer Confess with the Q-tard stuff, while at the same time turning a blind eye to the 325,000 missing children. Q is all about saving the children from P. Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein. Flynn is a CIA psyop movie. Q was a psychological operation similar to Operation Trust. Hey, God damn. What world do these people live in? Jesus Christ can bring down any club. What? Anyways, let me go to this one. Someone liked my comment recently, so let me see if I can find that. Okay. So someone that follows the channel posts this. And says, absolute proof, in all caps, of course, because that's how they make this work. Absolute proof of election interference at Cold Beer Confess. Do you believe it now? Well, let's see. This absolute proof. You guys ready? It's absolute proof. Absolute. That means no one can dispute this proof. And it includes a video. Convenient.
Hello. My name is Gary Burnson. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force and a retired senior operations officer and chief of station of the Central Intelligence Agency.
Also a right-wing politician now who's ran for office unsuccessfully multiple times and would love to get some of that MAGA fan base voting behind him so he could actually win an office.
For over 3 decades, I served in the U.S. national security apparatus in various capacities. Shortly after the attacks of 11 September 2001, I entered Afghanistan and commanded CIA paramilitary forces, helping seize the cities of Talkan and the capital of Afghanistan, Kabul. I was the driving force and architect of the Battle of Tora Bora. I held the position as chief of Hezbollah operation in CIA's counterterrorism center for several years and concluded my service in CIA as a chief of station in Latin America combating narco-terrorists. Approximately 6 years ago, a business associate and I began working together as whistleblowers for the Department of Justice, FBI, DEA, and Homeland Security Investigations, HSI. Our target was the largest and most well-funded transnational criminal organization.
He was running for office back in 2004 to 2014. He tried to win office. He couldn't.
On the planet called the Cartel del Sol, Cartel de Sal. The Cartel del Sol is the Venezuelan government and is led by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, Gustavo Cabello, Minister of Defense Vladimir Lopez Padrino, President of the National Assembly Jorge Rodriguez, and former Director General of Military Counter.
Now listen, they're going back to the Venezuela, Smartmatic, Dominion voting, CIA did it, okay?
Intelligence, Hugo Carbajal, who was detained in Spain several years ago and extradited to New York. He's currently awaiting trial for narco trafficking.
Who else got in trouble for the Dominion, Smartmatic, vote flipping, rigging, algorithms? What other, wasn't there a major news organization that got in trouble for this? For saying these things?
Well, President Maduro has a U.S. indictment and bounty of U.S. $15 million for his capture. Diosdado Cabello has a U.S. indictment and a $10 million bounty on his head. At least 6 other Venezuelan cabinet members and senior officials are indicted. In the last 20 years, the Cartel del Sol has stolen $1 trillion U.S. from Venezuela's national oil company, PDVSA, and embezzled $500 billion U.S. from its national treasury. It not only has, but continues to produce and smuggle 25 to 40 metric tons of cocaine every month out of its country into the world. The Cartel del Sol is a $2 trillion transnational criminal organization and the most well-resourced criminal syndicate in history. Through bribery and investments of its funds, it controls a dozen countries and world leaders. It has massive investments in the U.S. and European financial markets and institutions. As we conducted investigations against the Cartel del Sol and presented them one after another to the U.S. Department of Justice, we noticed and pursued leads from the cartel's money laundering operations to the world of non-governmental organizations and election companies. After witnessing election irregularities associated with the 2020 U.S. presidential election, we decided to direct time and resources to Cartel del Sol links to U.S. and global election fraud. After an exhaustive 3.5-year investigation, it is indisputable. Smartmatic Election Systems was created at the direction of now deceased Venezuelan dictator Hugo Chavez, and its source code, the basis of its operating system, developed jointly by Venezuela's Consejo Nacional Electoral and Smartmatic, was designed to allow election results to be altered without the knowledge of voters and the public. Additionally, the Venezuelan CNE holds ownership of Smartmatic's source code. Each time the Venezuelan CNE update the source code, a copy of it is stored at the vault at the Venezuelan Central Bank. In 2005, the European Union Electoral Observation Mission to Venezuela published a report stating the Venezuelan regime owns Smartmatic source code. The Venezuelan government signed that report as factual. Smartmatic's first election in Venezuela was the 2003 recall election of Hugo Chavez. The CNE director at the time, Jorge Rodriguez, at the direction of the Cuban Director General of Intelligence, DGI, hired 3 Venezuelan-American computer engineers that were graduates of Simon Bolivar University, a Venezuelan university linked to the U.S. university MIT. They had already registered a software company in Delaware and opened an office for it in Boca Raton. The engineers, Antonio Mojica, Roger Peñate, and Alfredo Anzola, established Smartmatic at the direction of the Venezuelan regime, built the source code, and flew off to Italy to buy lottery machines from Olivetti to serve as election hardware. They succeeded in altering out votes to ensure Hugo Chavez's victory in the recall election. Secure in power, President Chavez decided to weaponize this capability beyond Venezuela's border. Smartmatic would enter into the U.S. election market in Cook County, Illinois, and the state of New Jersey for Democratic Party primary bases in 2006. In 2005, Smartmatic orchestrated the purchase of Sequoia Voting Systems, Inc., a U.S. company. Sequoia was a company that had conducted elections in the U.S. for over 100 years and had a 22% market share of the U.S. electoral market. Approximately 18 months later, the Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States, CFIUS, began investigating the ownership of Smartmatic because of Smartmatic's Venezuelan connection. Smartmatic immediately put its source code in the machines, in the Sequoia machines. Smartmatic tried to conceal its Venezuelan connection by hiring a former U.S. naval officer, Jack Blaine, to set up a holding company, SVS Holding, to place its ownership of Sequoia in stock. In December 2006, Smartmatic entered into an agreement with CFIUS to sell Sequoia in 6 months.
Okay.
Antonio Mojica, one of the 3 original founders, then found a little-known election company in Toronto, Canada, Dominion Election Systems, that had only managed one small local election.
Dominion?
He arranged for Dominion to purchase Sequoia. Dominion, owned by John Polis, with that purchase of Sequoia, would inherit the licensing agreement for Smartmatic's source code, the source code owned by the Venezuelan regime, i.e. the Cartel del Sol. To be clear, Smartmatic and Dominion would ultimately sign an agreement that provided Dominion with the U.S. market and Smartmatic the international global market. The only 2 exceptions are that Smartmatic does elections in Los Angeles County and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was an issue they ultimately settled in court. In Caracas, in a building owned by the CNE, the Consejo Electoral, more than 100 software engineers, half in the CNE and half in Smartmatic, worked side by side. Their effort for more than a decade was to perfect the techniques of altering elections and defeating audit. In 2018, Smartmatic publicly, and with the approval of the Venezuelan regime, broke with the regime, the Cartel del Sol, because the Venezuelan CNE's theft of an election was so egregious. The techniques of the source code and machine operate and conceal a theft of an election when the spread of the candidates is between up to the 3 to 5 percentage points. As sophisticated as the machine is, it can be defeated with significant turnout against it. The recent 2024 election in Venezuela was also so blatantly stolen, and the machine could not conceal that massive spread either. In its place, a company called XClay took Smartmatic's place as the election provider in Venezuela. Allowing Smartmatic to exit Venezuela in this fictitious manner allowed the regime to retain its power and influence over the global electoral market. Smartmatic built a production facility for electronic voting equipment hardware just outside Beijing, China, and then shipped the hardware to a warehouse in Taiwan. In violation of U.S. law, the hardware was marked as manufactured in Taiwan and shipped to both Smartmatic and Dominion for use in U.S. elections. Dominion Voting Systems manages elections in almost all the swing states in the U.S.
You understand how this is absolute proof? Because he's saying it.
Which determines who wins the presidency. We have evidence and
thank you, Nurse Julie.
That can prove this.
It's been rough. The boys start school tomorrow, but they'll have to ride out on a side-by-side because there's still no road in and out when they go to school. But they're going back to school. That gives them some structure and some stuff to look forward to. So
source code. Operating the election machines of both Smartmatic and Dominion and other election companies are owned by the Venezuelan narco regime. And we have evidence and witnesses proving the machines are manufactured in the People's Republic of China. Every citizen needs to be asking, where's the DOJ, FBI, CISA, and where's the CIA? Is anyone in the national security apparatus defending our democracy or enforcing the law? And if that isn't enough to convince you there's a major problem, Dominion, an additional step to conceal its manipulation of U.S. elections, moved its research and development and servers, which store swing state voting information, to its office in Belgrade, Serbia. In the Belgrade office, Venezuelan, Chinese, and Serbian software engineers maintain system administrator status over swing state elections and alter elections as directed by the Cartel del Sol, the Cuban DGI, and the Chinese CCP. The facility and its personnel are protected by Serbia's counterintelligence service. Swing state voter information.
Yeah, one of the claims against me last night was, you guys pretend to be so poor. I don't think I've ever come on here and pretended to be so poor. You guys pretend to be so poor, but you keep getting tattoos. I got a tattoo recently, a few months back, for my mom and dad passing away. This is the first tattoo I've had in 10 years. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Information is saved on Huawei servers in Dominion's Belgrade office. These servers are linked to Huawei servers in Hong Kong, China.
Huawei?
The U.S. national security apparatus has identified Huawei and its technology as a threat to U.S. national security. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, a component of the United States Department of Homeland Security,
right,
is responsible for cybersecurity and infrastructure across all levels of government. CISA has 3,100 employees and a $2.9 billion budget. In 2020, when faced with calls to address election irregularities, CISA did a conference call with Smartmatic and Dominion in order to better able to address the public's concerns and assure everyone that there had been no irregularities. Yes, it's shocking. CISA decided to consult the criminals in order to respond to the American public's outcry.
Would you rather them not speak to the people who people are claiming cheated? Would you rather be like, oh, no, we can't talk to them. We'll just assume they cheated?
In August 2024, 3 current and former executives of Smartmatic were indicted in Florida in connection with bribery during the 2016 election in the Philippines. Among those arrested executives is Roger Piñate, one of the 3 founders and current president of Smartmatic. Roger Piñate paid $8.5 million in bail. What the public will soon learn is that the bribery paid in the case was not to obtain a contract. The bribery was paid to alter election results. We have the CNE source code, the source code employed by Smartmatic, Dominion, and others. We will surrender it to appropriate authorities. Source code, like DNA,
they will surrender it to proper authorities,
can easily be matched with other systems to prove that they're from the same family. In this particular case, it is a family of altering elections. 2 years ago.
By the way, what he just said is a lie. The Smartmatic executives were charged with bribing the Philippines to get business, right? To have their machines put in there.
We briefed a senior FBI agent in Washington, D.C. That agent, after seeing our 3-hour presentation with corporate ownership documents, engineering specifications, and witness statements, told us to flee Washington, D.C., that the FBI would actively work to destroy our efforts.
Oh, my goodness.
Seek ways to prosecute us in order to stop our investigative efforts. That was a stunning moment, hearing those words from a 20-year veteran of the FBI. 7 months ago, with our attorney, we briefed a U.S. attorney and 2 assistant U.S. attorneys, federal prosecutors from the Department of Justice. The U.S. attorney told us he would forward the information to the Office of Public Integrity at the Department of Justice.
By the way, if you want to support the show, do that at coldberry.fund. I'm super poor and I need a tattoo.
That U.S. attorney followed up with us months later to see if the Office of Public Integrity had contacted us. They never did. Smartmatic, Dominion, and their media allies will immediately point to the fact that Fox News settled with Dominion, paying U.S. $787.5 million, and that Newsmax just settled with Smartmatic this past week in a defamation case as evidence of Smartmatic and Dominion innocence. In Fox News against Dominion, we briefed Fox News trial attorneys. Our lawyers were present when we did that. Fox News corporate officers refused to be briefed.
Okay, so they briefed. Wait. They briefed Fox News before their lawsuit?
Directly for that case. They wanted.
So to believe this, you have to take all his words for it just because he says, I was former CIA, right? You have to take all his word for it. He doesn't show any evidence. This is her absolute proof that should have convinced me, right? There's no evidence shown. You have to take his word for everything. And you also have to believe that Fox News had all of the evidence, absolute proof that what they were saying was true. And instead, they said, nah, we'd rather pay out $1 billion to Dominion instead.
Plausible deniability. Fox News corporate knew we had significant evidence and, more importantly, witnesses. When all the facts are known, Fox News executives and board will have to explain why they went down on their knees for enemies of the U.S. We briefed Newsmax's corporate attorney as well. Though their settlement with Smartmatic is not public, any settlement with either company and their masters, the Cartel del Sol, the Cuban DGI, the CCP, makes it more difficult for those of us trying to defend the country and our democracy. I asked everyone to go to the website, stolenelectionsfacts.com. That's stolenelectionsfacts.com. Here you will find articles and original source documents supporting the claim that Smartmatic and Dominion are employing a source code created and owned by the Venezuelan regime with hardware manufactured in China that alters election results. I will follow with other videos and statements to inform and educate others. Best-selling author Ralph Pizzula has written the book, Stolen Elections, The Plot to Destroy Democracy. It will be released in late October. Mr. Pizzullo interviewed my whistleblower associate and I, and several of our key witnesses. This is a must-read to understand one of the greatest crimes ever committed against the United States. This is an assault on our democracy. Again, go to the website, stolenelectionsfacts.com. Look at the timeline, the documents, and the original sources that are attached.
Oh, my goodness. Look at it.
God bless America. We go forward.
This was absolute This was someone saying, ha, now that I show you this video, there's no way you can deny it. You realize that, right? Now do you believe it? Now the absolute proof is out? As if there's no denying this guy who just said things. You got me there, I guess. Why wouldn't I believe just some guy saying things that have been said for the last 5 fucking years, 4 years, and not been proven? Why not? Seems pretty crazy not to believe him at this point. Fucking idiots, dude.
The view, and Sarah, we can come to you for why that may be, but that is the case. If Trump was to win, he says he'll fix it all in 24 hours. I don't think he will, but he will try and do a deal. The question is, what is that deal? Because Ukraine is saying they're not going to give up an inch of the land.
So the issue is that Donald Trump's a 4-year-old when it comes to understanding any issue, but especially foreign policy. And a lot of people have this, they're obsessed with this idea of peace in their mind, which if you're in conflict, peace is the furthest thing from your mind. You want some kind of just peace or justice, right? So Trump's solution for Ukraine is just give up the land that's been taken from you and everything will be kosher, just like Russia did in Moldova with Transnistria, just like Russia did with South Ossetia, and I can't pronounce the other place in Georgia, and just like Russia's trying to do now with Ukraine. If you're somebody that wants justice for Ukraine, you want the United States to remain a world leader when it comes to ensuring trade routes or being somebody that the world looks to ensure relative peace and freedom and stability throughout places like Europe, which it has enjoyed historically more in the past 30 years than it had in the 200 years prior to that. Donald Trump obviously is not going to do that for you. If you're somebody who's very concerned about the Israeli-Gaza conflict, I mean, you've got Donald Trump who wholeheartedly, he said it before, will support Israel basically no matter what, with absolutely no contention whatsoever. You've got a guy who agreed to moving the embassy, who before that was talking about pulling all of the UNRWA funding from the Gaza Strip, who would support Netanyahu through and through. The whole reason why those Abraham Accords started was because Netanyahu wanted to start annexing parts of the West Bank, right? Donald Trump is not going to help any of the Palestinians if that's something that you're concerned about. Insofar as peace in the Middle East, I mean, you've got this talking point over and over again, no new wars, no new wars. Yeah, again, we haven't had any new wars since World War II, right? The war in Iraq was the use of force authorization, the authorization of the use of force. It wasn't technically a war.
Well,
Donald Trump,
it was a war.
You can call it that, but Donald Trump bombed Syria. Donald Trump bombed Syria. That wasn't a war, apparently. Yeah, with no congressional authorization. Iran attacked Saudi Arabia. They did a drone strike on oil refineries. There was conflict all throughout Iraq and Syria. Donald Trump abandoned Kurdish allies in Syria.
Damn it.
Signed a deal with the Taliban.
Get him, Destiny.
Afghanistan, and there was the whole fallout from that. Like this idea that there was peace in the Middle East under Donald Trump is absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
of it. Look, I actually think Trump's foreign policy was a lot more effective than people give him credit for.
What was effective about it?
Well, there's not. Look, I mean, it's not. There's some truth in there mixed with some just like attempts to get Donald Trump. Look, when people say there were no new wars under Donald Trump, there is. First of all, I'll say at least that's the talking point. At least that's what they're going with, rather than going he killed all them terrorists or something like that, which would have 20 years ago would have been the talking point from people on the right wing. So that's at least better. But the reason why they wouldn't consider him bombing Syria a new war is because Obama had us already in that conflict since 2012.
When he reneged on his red line.
Yes. Now, listen, by the way, there are
Assad used chemical weapons, and Obama did nothing, and Putin came in and took control. Well, that's what happened.
Okay.
Yes,
anyway, yes.
That is what happened.
Well, actually, if you want to really look at what happened in 2012, because the war, and I know you know about this stuff, because the war in Iraq had been such a disaster, and the power had been handed back to the Shiites in the region, and Iran had more influence than they had in the history of the regime, then it really started under George W. Bush, but then continued into Obama. They did what they call the redirect, where now we were going to try to take the Shiites down a peg, who we had just put in power in Iraq. And so what we wanted to do was overthrow Bashar al-Assad, and so we started funding all of the anti-Assad rebels, which largely consisted of Al-Qaeda and ISIS, and they knew this. Anyway, it wasn't like during Obama inherited these two wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and said he was going to end at least the one in Iraq. He then spread wars to Libya, Syria, Yemen, Somalia had already been going since George W. Bush was in there. You didn't see that under Donald Trump. You didn't see. However, he did. Yes, if you let me finish the sentence, then sure, we get there. However, he did escalate the war in Afghanistan, which he said himself was unwinnable, and so he escalated the war in Afghanistan, not like Obama with 70,000 plus troops there, but he did send thousands extra troops. He did take off the gloves with drone strikes and rules of engagement. So the idea that he was like an anti-war president is not true. There was rhetorically very different than previous presidents, and he would at least talk about the idea that these wars.
He wasn't an anti-war president.
Disasters, that we never should have fought them, and that really America shouldn't be involved in that business. I'm glad that he's at least infusing that into the popular conversation.
He came at it with an overview as a business guy. It's just bad business. These wars were costing trillions of dollars cumulatively to get nowhere, really. What's your assessment of Trump on the foreign stage?
And there's huge conflicts of interest also with this war machine that our country has seemed to have embraced and allowed to perpetuate. I'm voting for Trump because I hate war. And I don't know if any of you, I hate that it's the old men who call for wars and they send our young men to go fight those wars for them, our young men and our young women. And, all politics are personal. I don't know if any of you have a real personal connection with those who have been sent to war zones, and then the guys, the gals, they come back different people. They're adversely affected. On a personal level here, I will do whatever I can, and I will support whatever candidate needs.
Those chairs are very fucking noisy.
Support in order to avoid war. Why I will not support Kamala is she doesn't understand, for one, that inherent link between energy development, energy independence in America, and that inherent link between that and our safety and our sovereignty. And because Kamala and because the Democrat Party has put an end to so much of our exploration, certainly so much of our development of our own natural resources.
Isn't America producing more energy today than we had all of history?
We're not.
That's not true? We're not?
No, we're not. And
okay.
Remember, Kamala and
that is true.
Her administration, day one, they stopped pipelines, no more drilling on federal lands.
So we look at America's not producing more energy. You ran with McCain. You said you care about veterans and everything. Did Trump's comments about McCain bother you at all? Did Trump prefers people that didn't get captured?
I've never said anything negative about McCain or anything.
I didn't ask if you said it. I asked if Trump's comments bother you about that.
Anyway,
when Trump made fun of that Gold Star family.
Oh, shit. You ran with McCain. Did Trump's comments about McCain's veteran status and not being a hero, did that bother you? I've never said anything negative about John McCain.
The inherent link between energy.
She just said she cares about vets. I had parents serving the Air Force. I'm just curious, if you care about vets, do these comments bother you?
If I care about vets,
and do a photo up there.
If I care about vets, really,
do these comments bother you?
If I care about vets.
If you care about vets,
so the inherent link between energy and prosperity and energy security. You interrupted the point that I was going to make. You changed the subject, dude.
Talking points. Are we running for office here?
Really?
You did run for office, by the way. You ran with John McCain, the most warmongering man that we know of. Why did you run with John McCain? Why did you run with John McCain if you're anti-wars?
Make a positive difference in our country.
He would have sent more people to die.
You don't know that.
I do. He literally said bomb, bomb, bomb Iraq. He sang it.
He did campaign.
He campaigned on a war battle
100 years in Iraq.
He campaigned on staying Iraq for 100 years and bombing Iraq.
You're asking why I accepted the nomination to
I'm just wondering, you're sitting here saying you're against war abroad, and yet I just want to remind younger viewers at home, you ran with the most warmongering senator of my lifetime.
And you're asking why I ran for vice president of the United States of
America?
No,
I know why you ran. You were in power. I'm just saying why you're not consistent.
To be fair to Palin, Vance accepted the nomination, and he said that Trump could be America's next Hitler, so, I mean,
All right, why don't we try and be a little fairer to the ex-governor, because she's on her own here. Brutal males.
I wanted to talk about energy and America's need for
you said was false about energy. Facts about it too. America has record energy production right now.
It
does. People can Google it right now.
Well, I said that on day one, what the Biden administration did was halt so much of our exploration and our construction of pipelines.
I'm not a fan of that, by the way. I think you should have less energy production. I'm a critic of Biden.
They basically halted these. So what would happen is huge oil companies that could afford it, anytime there was open federal leases, they would go ahead and lease them for like 100-year leases with no intention in drilling or even exploratory drilling for maybe 30, 50 years. Who knows, right? And it actually made a more even playing field for smaller oil companies. Small oil companies can't afford to lease a place that they're not going to drill on. So big oil companies like Exxon or whatever, they would come in, they would lease these places as soon as they become available, and they wouldn't even drill on them. So what they did was they limited that, right? You basically had to be doing some type of activity within the next so many years, or then those leases just expired and went back into the pool of leases. And it made it, honestly, more beneficial for smaller oil companies that they can go out and lease these lands. They don't have to hold on to them for 50 years just to compete with the big oil companies.
You're a liar. You lied. Yes, and you said, no, Biden didn't do that. Yes, he did on day one.
Do you know he handed out more licenses to Trump? Do you know that?
I'm making the point that you denied.
More licenses than Trump.
Energy high, and you said no. So if anyone lied, you did.
Listen.
They can DVR, they can rewind it and see you saying a false statement.
Let me ask
you. Energy production high today.
You don't think that Biden
is energy production higher under Biden than Trump?
And you just
is
lied
energy production higher, Sarah Palin? It's a very simple question. I know facts are not your strong point. Is energy production higher today under Biden than under Trump? It's a simple yes or no question.
You're an obnoxious.
Do Americans wrong when they have this feeling? Well, the feeling's
obnoxious because I asked if energy production is higher today than under Trump.
You're obnoxious because I'm asking you why you would say that Biden didn't support.
You're a racist. You want to play that game? You said Obama is not born in America. He's not one of us. Yeah, you said Trump is doing a great job asking for his birth certificate. You said he's not one of us. You said he jives and schmucks. Should we go down the record? You're going to call me obnoxious? Why do you talk about your racism?
Yeah.
Why do you change the subject? You said Black Lives Matter protesters are dogs. Should we go down?
I said they're dogs. You're a liar. Show me where I ever said that protesters are dogs.
You say Obama's shuck and jive.
You're a liar.
If you get the governor on your show, which is, I would say,
shuck and jive was one of her comments. That Barack Obama he shucks and jives.
Things stand. If you do, you can continue the prosecution. Let me just segue to this, though.
It was in her book, I think.
Who were protesting in America?
Or maybe it's a
liar.
I think it was in her book.
Since he still hasn't called off the dogs, we'll say it.
Did you question Obama's book?
Oh my goodness!
Did you say he's not one of us?
Did you say
since our president won't say it, since he's
we're protesting in America, you're a liar.
Since our president won't say it, since he still hasn't called off the dogs, we'll say it.
Did you question Obama's book?
Oh my goodness!
Did you say he's not one of us? Did you say he's planning around with terrorists?
Based on that, well, we were talking about Bill Ayers at the time and how Obama had kicked off his entire. Oh my goodness! I can't believe you
didn't have a show. Did you say Obama's not one of us?
I still want to know this proof that you have of me calling protesters in America dogs.
I believe you've heard Black Lives Matter protesters.
Well, they used the clip there. Yes. Since he won't call off the dogs, we will.
I believe you are wrong.
All right, we'll fact check out this. I want to ask you this, Mehdi, because you're being very vocal and taking on.
I got called obnoxious for pointing out energy production levels.
I don't think you would win a court case about not being obnoxious. But let's move on. Let's move on. I can also be obnoxious before we just play the water battery. Let me just ask you this: given that you believe Trump is a racist who's holding neo-Nazi style rallies and so on, why is it that he's gaining significant ground with Black and Latino voters? Why would they gravitate to a man who is literally, in your eyes,
National Cat Day? Sweet.
Nazi.
It's a good question. I think because minority communities are not monoliths. I'm having the same issues in my own Muslim community where a lot of Muslims, not a lot, but some Muslims are actually going to vote for Trump because they're upset about Gaza. They think he's the peace candidate. And I think people have different reasons. I think we can make generalizations about entire communities. I'm not going to make generalizations about Black or Latino votes. Well, I think it's slightly exaggerated. There's an ABC poll that came out on Sunday.
You have a woman.
There's an ABC poll that came out on Sunday that shows Harris is doing better with Black and Latino men than Joe Biden did in 2020.
But the significant thing, Dave, is that Trump's own popularity with Black and Latino voters is significantly increased.
What is that popularity? What are the numbers we talk here? Maybe are we going from like 11% to 17%?
I think I read on African Americans, it's something like from about 4 or 5% to nearly 20%. That's significant.
It depends on what polls you look at. Yeah. Again, like we'll
4 or 5% and 20%. I doubt it.
Figure out in, well, I guess it might take us a few weeks before we have this data, but we'll see what actually ends up happening on the election day. There is something very interesting about the fact that if you look at the aggregate of the polls, Trump's support amongst minorities seems to be going up. There is, at least on the surface, that seems kind of funny given how he's being covered in the corporate media. I really do think that a lot of the, there's kind of like the progressive cultural worldview is often very disconnected from what people in these communities actually care about. I think the fact that, I think personally there's actually a lot of things that appeal to certain people in these communities that Donald Trump, just in his personality, but I really do think that if you ask them, it all is coming down to the same two things that it's coming down to for most voters, which is immigration and the economy. Yeah. These are the two big issues across all the polls.
It is, I mean, whatever side of this you're on with Trump, it is fascinating that somebody who many on your side believe is this appalling racist and everything else, that he is increasing support in minority groups. Why?
Certain talking, because Black people and Hispanic people and Asian people and white, we're not fundamentally different. You can kill the people using certain talking points. Like, I hate to understand, so like Dave said, I agree that talking about immigration and inflation, that's a thing that plays to a lot of communities, especially if you're a poor community, especially if you don't have as much money. These are things that are probably hitting you the hardest. Now, the issue where the rubber meets the road is that while Trump will talk about inflation, while Trump was running for president, he ran huge deficits in a great economy. There's no reason for it. At least Biden has an excuse to run deficits. We're coming out of a global pandemic. And Donald Trump's every single policy that Donald Trump is talking about will increase inflation. It's going to, who do you think I'm going to care if my coffee costs $10 or $15 because of tariffs? It's not going to bother me. It's not going to bother anybody sitting here. It's going to bother the very same communities that are trying to vote for him because they're worried about things like inflation.
Exactly. And not going to bother the wealthy.
It makes sense, right? What do you think is going to happen when we deport 12 million workers, or when we deport however many people Donald Trump wants to, or when we cut immigration even harder? Donald Trump will simultaneously say we're shipping all of our factories to Mexico because they're making car cars on there, but we want to ban all the people from coming to the United States to make the cars. It doesn't make sense.
Allow me to remind you of my favorite statistic, which is...
I don't care about Obama. Obama is not running for president, so I don't know why.
You're
I don't
ahead
care.
of me, but let me do it anyway.
I've heard it. The deporter in
It's my
chief.
favorite
It
stat.
doesn't matter. All it proves is that Trump is a liar when he said he ran on immigration. Obama was already deporting
the single greatest deporter of people in American presidential history, pro rata, per year, was Barack Obama.
So would you say that Trump was lying when he said that the Democrats were bad on immigration?
Over 3 million in 8 years.
Yeah, so would you say that Trump was lying when he said that Obama was bad on immigration?
No, I'm simply saying...
I'm curious. Would you say that Donald Trump and Republicans lied when they said that Obama had an open border?
There is so much...
Palin has probably said that Obama had an open border. Did they lie when they said that?
Mrs. Palin. Be respectful.
Mrs. Palin.
Mrs. Palin.
Did Obama have an open border?
Hang on. Do you think Donald Trump's going to win in a week?
Nobody's answering the question. All right, guys. I got to get out of here. It's 12:30. I still got to ride in tonight. I'm going to try my new flashlight mount. I'm going to mount it up. We have to get up early and get the kids into school and on the side-by-side to the car and the car to the school. And so I got to get out of here, guys. Please consider supporting the show. That directly supports us. I'm not working right now. I don't have a job like I usually do to fall back on because everything's closed down. I need some car work done. I need a bunch of stuff right now. So if you feel like supporting the show, please do that at coldbeer.fund. There's PayPal links. There's Buy Me a Coffee links, whatever you can do. We greatly appreciate it, especially right now. And if you can't, that's cool too. I know everybody's kind of in a bad spot here lately. So either way, we're getting the boys back to school and maybe get on a little bit better schedule. I was actually able to come here 2 days in a row. So we'll see if we can keep coming multiple times a week. We'll see what we can do. Either way, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for being here. I better hop off here, and we'll see you guys on the next one. I'll be riding the one wheel in tonight with my new flashlight mount. So wish me luck, and see you guys on the next one, whenever that is. Have a good one, guys.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the fork and balls
Scoop McBoot
on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are.
Scoot and the Big Boot.
Have the fork and balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6 cents for the stupid shit. Where my true believer? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord, head to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like four in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst.
I'm never careful. If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room. That's Suko.
Next, Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk.
What do you go run and hide every time you see Godzilla pop out of the ocean?
Told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Opened his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped them to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby.
Good night, guys.
Due to the troops, he tapped me on the shoulder and said, this is gonna be